Thank you for joining me today on Good News with Twanda Black, where we're discovering some of the most inspiring trials to triumph stories and empowerment moments. Call up a friend and let them know it's time for some good news. Welcome to Good News with Twanda Black. I am your host, where we talk with folks from all walks of life about their good news. Because ultimately now, if your brothers and sisters are doing well, we should be celebrating them. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this next guest. Marie Fratoni joins me. She is a sought-after business coach, professional speaker, and transformational retreat leader. We're going to tell you about that in a minute. And a best-selling author. She champions women. I love that. Met her over the weekend and loved her energy. She is a sassy veteran, you know, and because I know I'm over 60, but she's a sassy veteran, and I like that about her. I love her energy and that she's doing what she loves in life. How are you this morning, Marie?
I am doing good now that we got ourselves set up. Hello.
Yes. So have you always been a business coach? Where did your career start? How did you start and then did you move into business coaching?
Well, you know, in early days, I was a therapist, psychotherapist, and I ran a hotline, and I worked with individuals and families and did a lot of community training. Wow. And so from there, just kind of, you know, I worked in corporate America, did lots of corporate training programs and leadership, communication, sales, all of those things. And then, you know, when coaching became cool, I got certified in coaching. But I've been doing the same thing since I was in my 20s.
Really kind of over and over, actually, right? In different positions.
Exactly, in different iterations, you know, to make things relevant. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see you being a therapist. I can see that. Do you practice anymore? Do you do any of that anymore? No?
I don't. But, you know, knowing how people work and how people think and how people act is very useful. And there's lots of ways to do that without having it be therapy, you know?
That's right.
So I'm grateful for those skills and that knowledge.
That's so true. So tell us about your business coaching.
Oh, well, it's super fun. You know, it's like you mentioned and said, I'm a champion of women. I work predominantly with women. Occasionally I have a man client, but I market to women for sure. And I help them in 4 areas. One is really to help them be visible and profitable. And I do that through savvy networking, successful and soulful selling. Because a lot of people don't really know how to sell or know the sales process. They've just never had to generate their own revenue for themselves. Speaking, I've been coaching speakers since the mid-'80s, and so I call my program the Speaker Savvy VIP Experience. And then the other one is retreats and events. I've been leading events for 40 years.
That's amazing.
All kinds of events, online, offline, you know, so we all want to be seen more. We want to be heard more. Podcasts are so hot, you know, and they're just so in. And, you know, you give voice to people that would really like to be more visible. And then, of course, from there, most people want to be profitable. So that's what I help them do.
Absolutely. Tell us about the Transformational Retreat. You are a leader in this. And, you know, listening to you last week, it was light bulbs going off in the entire room. I don't know if you noticed that, but if you could have seen the reaction of the folks that were sitting in that room going, oh my God, some people were just writing because that idea, you just gave them life. So talk about the Transformational Retreats.
Well, you know, you just said it, you know, sometimes just speaking about them is transformational. You know, it inspires people. And that was my intention, was not so much to teach how to do a retreat, but to really encourage people to consider adding retreats to their business. And it was really fun to hear that a few people, while I was talking, they were on buying domain sites. I mean, how cool is that, right? So, you know, transformational retreats are, you know, a way to get away, you know, because sometimes, you know, like I'm sitting at my desk now, and you saw some of the difficulty I have with my setup here in my office. I have what I have in my house, you know, and it's nice to just change your environment and eat different food and sleep in a different bed and wake up in the morning and see different sights and be inspired by all that the world has to offer. And when you travel like that, you expand. And when you expand, there's a lot of thoughts that can come in. And so it contributes to us greatly in ways sometimes that we can't even imagine, you know?
Yeah. Now, your spot is Italy. And I went on your site, and you've got a few trips coming up this year. So why the love of Italy? Tell me what happened. How did it start?
Well, I'm Italian. What can I say? And so I kind of grew up that way. You know, Italy is the #1 travel destination in the world. That's what Condé Nast magazine says. But I just went there, and I just feel at home there. So as a retreat leader, it's very important for me to feel comfortable and to allow and to help my participants feel comfortable. And it's just, there's so many wonderful, it's like the United States, there's so many wonderful parts of the United States as well. But Italy has so many different pockets. I love to go to Tuscany and Amalfi and Rome, and you know, there's just so many beautiful places. So Italy has been, I've connected with some people, and sometimes when you do things over and over again, even in our business, even in our life, they magnetize to us, you know? And so I think that's happened. And then people said, oh, I want to go next year. And oh, I can't go this year, but I want to go next year. And I want to go next year. And then the next year is kind of pulled together and threaded together. So now it's been just about 20 years.
Wow, 20 years. And
but it's a great testimony
to lead those. Absolutely.
It's a great testimony to realize you can create anything. And if you follow the spiritual breadcrumbs, there are things that start to occur for you, and it takes on a life of its own, you know, that I'm just like the steward to it, you know.
And your groups aren't big. Retreats don't have to be these huge things, right?
Oh, no. I mean, it's not really a tour. Although we do tour different places. We do go to have our excursions, and pretty much every day we go to a different site, so people have a beautiful travel experience. But I would say, you know, somewhere between 8 and 10 people is very much an average trip. I think the most I've ever done is 15 people. And we oftentimes are there with another group, so we kind of share community and have our meals together and, you know, make friends. And, you know, most of the people that come on the retreats with me are either clients, they're future clients, they're past clients, current clients, or sometimes they're the spouse of clients, or the sister of a client, or the son of a client. And so we just make it available. I make myself available for people to have some business conversations. And so if we're looking, or some people are looking at, could I do this as a retreat leader? Could I invite my community here? And so, you know, it can become a research and development, an R&D kind of a trip where people can start to see themselves and do their own investigation, put together their own retreat for the following year. So it can work out very nicely for people.
How long do you think a retreat should be?
Well, I think you can, I mean, a friend of mine is leading a retreat up in Connecticut this weekend, and it's like a one-day retreat. You know, and it's, you know, when you come together for a particular person and you're kind of in a container, you know, a sacred container for the theme and the promise of the retreat, it can be, you know, any time. When we go to Italy, we're there from Saturday to Saturday. We're usually there for a week. And then when we go to Italy, because you're flying on a airplane, you know, 9 hours or whatever to get there, most people are going to stay some extra time, and they do their own trip, you know, on their own, either before or afterwards. But I've done retreats here for 2 days. I've done retreats in the States, here in Atlanta, for 3 days. You can do anything. I think it's a question of what's your intention for the retreat, what's the theme, what's the context, and then look at how you can put it together.
It's amazing. I mean, like I said, light bulbs were going off all over that room, and I love a good retreat myself. So let's switch and talk about your books. You have 2. Well, do you have more than 2? I know 2.
I have 3 actually.
Okay.
But 2 of the ones that I wrote myself with that I'm the main author for them. They're collaborative books, and then another one that I did with another colleague of mine was a collaborative book for people that were in a mastermind together. So, these are perfect expressions of my business, which is about helping people be more visible and profitable. So we usually put them together with really cool people that have done some wonderful things, that are inspirational stories that I think other people, other women, and even the men who are connected to other women want to see, or dads want to get them for their daughters. And it gives people an opportunity to stand for something, to have a transformational story. And then we do a lot of things around the promotion of the book to help them get that out into the public. Some people really want to speak a lot and actually make money from their book, or use the book as a segue to get speaking engagements. And it's just kind of a fun thing to be able to do, to help a lot of people inside, again, another container,
Absolutely.
For growth and development.
Soulful leadership, tools for a new way of being. What does that mean?
Oh, it's great. This is a group of people that were part of a mastermind that I was with. Most of the people were part of that mastermind. And that was the theme that the leader created. And each one of us put together a particular thing that made a difference in our business, that becomes almost like a staple. So in that book, I wrote about the power of having, building a global network by having virtual coffees with people. Most people don't take the time to have a conversation with someone, just to say, who are you? And what are you all about? And who do you serve? And, how do you do what you do? And some people just go in and go, hi, my name is Marie. Would you like to buy my $50,000 program? They don't even know anything about me.
Right.
So they're not taking time to cultivate and nurture a relationship, because people buy people that they're connected to. Yeah, virtual coffees are, they're a great way to just get to know each other and to begin to develop relationships. Because, no one is going to want to do anything with me unless they know who I am and how I think and what my philosophy is, and, how I serve people. And I think people are very cool, and we don't often take the time to give people the grace and space to share who they are. And when I'm listening and when I'm speaking with people, I'm not just listening to them, but I'm actually listening for them. Because I think, who do I know that they might be a good fit for? Who do I know in my community that might be a great resource for them, or a good collaborative partner with them? So it takes time to do it, but I would much rather take the time. So I've built from starting just one coffee at a time, one virtual coffee, one virtual vino if it's after 5 o'clock. You can really build a global network easily. That is a staple, like meat and potatoes in your business.
Absolutely. Your other book, Inspiring Women, Purpose, Passion, and Power in Professionalism. And you put together 15 women and their stories, correct?
Correct. Yeah, great stories. These are people that are accomplished women. They've done things that they've said they would do, and their stories are, it's hard because they've had good lives and good businesses, and to kind of narrow it down for a chapter is probably the most challenging part. And yet, when I invite them, almost everybody says the same thing. They go, why do you think I'm inspiring? It's pretty common. But they are inspiring, and the books have had some really good press, and they've done very well. They've all been Amazon bestsellers, which is always fun, and then they're also available on Barnes and Noble, and then people can carry their own books and market their own books at different events and speaking engagements, and right. I give mine away as different prizes or different bonuses or different things like that. It just depends on what we can do and what the host of the event allows us to do. So. But it's been a fun project to take on in my life.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking of doing a third one.
Oh, nice. So, again, I went on your website, and you have 2 or 3 trips coming up, retreats for the year.
I have 3, actually. Yeah. You want to hear a little bit
are they
that?
open? Is it open to anybody? How do you get people in there?
Well, I market to them. I email, and I'm posting a lot, on social media. And there's a lot of people that know the first one is coming up in June, and right. It's been sold out for over a year.
Oh,
but a
wow.
couple of people had to withdraw
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
and postpone their trip just due to stuff happening in life, because life happens to all of us,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So there's 2 spaces that are open, and if people have an interest, they can reach out to me, and I'll have a conversation to make sure that the trip is right for them and they're right for the trip. And then in September, I'm going to a place that I love. I think it'll be my 18th retreat at that location. It's
Wow.
also in Tuscany. It's a beautiful it's like 1,000+ year old former monastery that's had miracles happen there. It's the inside is beautiful, the outside is beautiful. We're going to do some ballooning over Tuscany. There's usually some wine involved and some wine tastings involved in a cooking class, and then some wonderful conversations, some meditations, and beautifully seeing all the different Tuscan towns and adventures. And then over New Year's, we're
Yes.
going to meet. I know, right? We're going to meet in Rome, and then we're going to drive out to the area of Italy called Umbria, and which is where the town of Assisi is, of St. Francis of Assisi,
Mm-hmm.
which is just so sweet and beautiful. And that town boasts Orvieto. We're going to stay at a beautiful spa hotel, and we have openings there as well. And we are going to be experiencing the world famous Umbria Jazz Festival, where they bring in jazz greats from all over the world every year at New Year's, and then once in the summer. So we're going to participate in the jazz festival over New Year's. And I've spent New Year's Eve in Italy watching the fireworks from the rooftops of Rome. It's magical and so much fun.
So Marie, are your retreats for relaxation? What are they for?
A little bit of everything, for fun, for sure, because we want to have fun. Why go to Italy if you're not going to go have fun, right? Fun, relaxation, there's time to chill, there's time to relax, there's time to take a nap or sit by the pool or get a massage or a spa treatment. Then there is the transformation, which, sometimes just the trip itself allows people to grow and expand in ways that they never expected. They have to be somebody different than they are at home with their family. And then the last one is that sometimes you can make some profit from your retreats. Not every retreat is profitable, or not everything, but I work with a third party that it's actually their business. And I've been working with them for a long time because they have the licenses and the liabilities to sell travel and accommodations and things. And what I do is I'm like the Pied Piper. I'm the chief inviter. And then I set the stage, and I make sure that the transformational promise of each retreat is met by all of the participants. And we are safe, we're guided, we have assistance for us. It's a beautiful way to travel. And, a lot of people like myself, we're single, we don't have a spouse, we don't have kids, we don't have grandchildren. During the holidays, people want to do something. They don't want to stay home by themselves.
Right.
So I provide a way for them to come out and live life with other people that want to do the same thing.
So now, is it for women only, or can men come as well?
Men are always with us. I market it to women. Most of my audience is women, but they're married. They've got boyfriends, they've got sons, they've got son-in-laws. So we usually always have men with us. It's heavily more women because that's who I hang with, but
yeah. So
men are welcome for sure.
Tell everybody where they can go to learn more about you, get your books, if they need a business coach, all that good stuff, and then learn more about your retreats. Give them that information.
Well, thank you so much. Well, the easiest way to check me out is to go to my website, which is just getclientseverywhere.com. And there's a tab there that says Travel with Marie, and it's got all the information about the retreats. There'll probably be some new ones being added soon for 2026. If people want to have a conversation with me, and maybe they're looking at what's next, or they want to figure out how they could grow their business and be profitable, be mindful in a very changing environment that we have going on now, they're welcome to have a conversation. I provide a complimentary session called a business breakthrough session. They can find me on LinkedIn. I love to have conversations. If people want to have a virtual coffee, or they want to share their website with me, it's fine. But my books are there. I have a card deck that's on there that's called Connect and Prosper, because that's what I'm all about, putting people to connect and to prosper. And so there's card deck that's available on there. And yeah, there's just a lot of fun ways to participate with me.
All right. And the website is getclientseverywhere.com. Getclientseverywhere.com. Marie Fratoni joins us today. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, Marie.
Thank you. It was so fun to meet you. I just appreciated your energy and your invitation and just your generous heart. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. And we might be able to return the favor for you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. All right. Thanks so much for joining me for Good News. If you'd like to be a guest, you can reach out to me at goodnews@thepgnetwork.org. You can catch Good News on pgntv.org. And I'll see you next time for some good news. God bless you.